Steve Assad here from Ancient Gamers with another quick tutorial on the Atavism Toolbox. So today, what we're going to focus on is the Atavism generator. We're going to use the Polygon Dungeon fixed characters. And you can see that right here in our setup, we've got this folder to process, and that's what we're going to drag in. We're just simply going to drag it in right to this location. And we're going to go over to a folder in a resources path where we've already created a prefabs, a variant, and the folder structures that we're going to work with. In this case, we're working with a dungeon, so we'll want to drag in the prefabs into the asset bundle location and the variants into the variant location. We've already dragged in the scaled fixed characters into this location. And then we're going to go to the model variations. And we're going to select all of the model variations for this particular mob. So at this point, let's lock this so we don't lose this. We've got 4 characters right here. And for how many additionals right here. And you can have all of these you want, or if you can just want 4, we'll just make 4. And we're going to go ahead and select our friendly target decal. So we'll drag that into the location. We'll get our neutral. Spell it right. And our enemy. And then we're going to choose the runtime controller. You can have your own runtime controller, and you'll want to switch this for each one that you're going to do. So this is just the default one, and it's selected right here in the toolbox. We'll just drag it right here. And we'll want to select both of these, save the variant, and build the asset bundle object. You can activate the blend shape support, but this doesn't work at the moment. And click to move is not for this. So we're going to go ahead and click build variant, and we're going to pause the video at this second because this is going to take a little bit of time as it processes each one of those characters and then goes through the material variations. So if you added 4, 1, 20, it'll process each one of those materials and add it to the folder. You can see that processing right here. So this has created individual items for each one of those. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 for that particular item, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 for that object number 2. And it'll go through each one of those objects within that and then create that. And if we go back to our prefabs, here's all of our prefabs that we're creating as well. And we'll just pause the video here while it continues processing. Okay, once that's done, we'll have about, just because of that one, we'll have about 64 items in this one. So we can go and take a look at those folders. And you can see all of these, there they are. And these are the asset bundle items. That. And so we can see this is what it's going to do is get the model from this one, which is this character ghost 11V. There's our character ghost 11V. If we open that, there is our 11V. And this is our 12V, 13V, and 14V. All the variations. So if you had a dozen variations, you could have each one of the variations created. So now we've created our model and our mobs. So let's go back to the Atavism Toolbox, and we'll go to the next process. We can close this tab, and we'll go to this one. So what we're going to do is let's clear out anything that is in here from the previous run. you don't have to clear anything in this one or anything below. So, and then what we're going to do is we're going to drag this prefabs folder into the dungeon. Click load and process. So these are all of the mobs that are in there. And so what we have is 64 mobs that were created by our generation system. And you can see each one of these links up to the various mobs that we were talking about. These are mobs that are not in the database. And just like our equipment display system, this works just the same way. And then we can see the mobs that are in the database from this folder, which are none. These are the mobs that are missing from that folder, which are none. And these are the prefabs that already exist within the system. So we've already done load and process. So at this point in time, we'll make sure that we've got everything else selected. So we're going to do humanoid, normal, NPC faction at this point. These are all values that are pulled out from your database. Ignore that. We're going to ignore these values down to here. The icon path is the dungeon path that we've got created here. And then we're just going to click build. And then we can come over to the console and we can see that all of these entries were created. And then once we open up the Atavism Toolbox or the editor, and then go to mobs, and then we can select one of the items that we did here, the Ghost 11. We can type in Ghost. And we can see Ghost 11, 12, 13, 14, and 21. And at this point in time, you can go ahead and finish customizing your mobs for your use in your game. So that pretty much completes the Atavism Toolbox. The icon system at this point is non-functional. We'll get into that at a different point. I didn't really like the way it worked, and so I'm going to replace that with a completely different system. So until next time, happy coding and have a great day.